Hello, it's Yusuf here, and today we are talking about my beloved, my number one, my heartthrob, Alfred. My friend George McGill got me this hat and urged me to record this video for you guys, but I'm a selfish lover. I didn't want to share Alfred with anyone, and this was very difficult for me to record. But by the end of today, it will have transformed your digital life, and it will just be life-changing for you. So this is part 2 of a series of videos that we have on setting up your Mac for maximum productivity. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and check it out, otherwise it may not make a lot of sense. And this is where we cover the Tiago Forte's productivity pyramid, optimizing your settings in your Mac for laying the groundwork for productivity, and the system enhancements needed to really take that to the next level. Then we go through the keyboard shortcuts to speed up the kind of day-to-day stuff with your Mac, and here we take things forward. I forgot to wear the hat for the remainder of the video, but you'll have to use your imagination. On we go. Today we're talking about really the fundamental speed enhancer of your entire life from now on, which is Alfred, the love of my life. But who is Alfred? Alfred is this heartache. Now, I should preface this before I talk about this that I'm not a tech guy. I am pretty impatient with computers, and I don't want to be waiting for a computer to do things while I'm trying to actually get some output out to you guys. And I found that Alfred has been the biggest enhancer of that. As you can see, I use it quite frequently, 150 times a day on average, and up to 140,000 times in total since I got Alfred, since our first date, and it was beautiful. So, what this does is allows you a more direct access to actions and functions that you would normally do within a Mac day to day. The problem with the way that Apple is designed is that it's made to be pretty, but not necessarily to be efficient and functional. Now, I know there are other operating systems that are designed more for that, things like Linux, and you can maybe do everything from a command line if you're some kind of coder. I'm not a coder, and I don't really get that stuff. I find it a very steep learning curve, and it moves you further away from what you're actually initially on a computer to do. So if you're not prepared to learn all those kind of skill sets in themselves and dedicate months to do that, then I would stick with a Mac system. The other disadvantage of going with something like Linux is that you're on a very niche operating system where compatibility issues run into big problems and you can't send files back and forth between friends. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, why not Windows? Don't get me started on Windows. If you haven't seen the previous video, watch that and you'll see how furious I am with Windows as a whole. So, benefits of using Alfred. First of all, he's beautiful. It will increase your productivity to a degree that you never thought possible, but it will also make you aware of the micro habits and micro inefficiencies that add up and open those gaps for you to get distracted and do other things when you're actually waiting for a computer to do something. So I'm going to run through the actual functions of Alfred, and that will clear up some of these ways that you can implement it yourself. So it covers opening files, search and opening URLs, hotkeys, text expansion, and workflows. Now I'm going to go through those one by one with a live demo. I would recommend that you download Alfred. There is a free version, and then there is a paid version, which the upgrade has like $20 or something, and that's for life. So it's not a subscription model. The guys behind Alfred are really great people. They are very supportive on their forums and so on, and they're really not in it for the money. They are just offering some great value to everyone. So to make the most of this, I would follow along. Make sure that you have the play pause keys enabled in your browser in Chrome or Brave. I would recommend Brave, and that will allow you to run along as we go through this. So to begin, Alfred, this is the general settings. Alfred looks like the Spotlight search. So this is Spotlight and this is Alfred. And you can obviously search for things within there, as you can search for folders and files, and you can also navigate from within folders and files, which I'll show you in a second. I would set your keyboard shortcut to Command Space, that is to replace Spotlight. I have Spotlight as Alt Space, just in case I ever need it for whatever reason, but really it got sent to the back of the pile. Sorry Spotlight, but sloppy seconds. So once you've done that, then you can start to run through the setup. I would recommend setting your default results as all of these. Take out archives and take out Apple scripts. These are things that are not really typically used in day-to-day searches. You can also exclude or include certain applications in there too. For file search, then you can exclude history and messages, for example. These are things that I think day-to-day you wouldn't be searching for through Alfred, but you can include all of the rest of them. And then as you are navigating through the files, you can actually do that completely from within Alfred. For example, if I open the Alfred demo folder, I can open the folder like this. If I want to go to, if I want to do something with one of those files, then you can open it like that, or you can reveal it within Finder as well. So let's say we have there, we press Command down to open the folder from within Alfred, and then Command Enter to reveal the folder, to reveal the file within the folder. If I want to navigate a complex folder, then you can literally just go from within there and look at the notes and basically navigate the folders from within there, which is so much faster than using Finder. Also notice this number here, Command 1, Command 6, etc. So if I just press that, that's a quicker way than having to press down lots of times or to click on the actual number. So you can really navigate things so rapidly. I've just accidentally opened a Microsoft Word document there, I think, so I'm just going to use Alfred to kill Word. There we go. Gone. So that is how rapid it is, much quicker than like moving the mouse to the corner of the screen. And I hope that I'm espousing the benefits of these little speed improvements over time if you aggregate them for larger purposes. Now, another great function of the file search and file actions that you can do is you can select from all of these options here. I only have move and delete because I think they're the ones that I would typically use the most. But you can include a lot more. I've set my selection hotkey to be Alt-M, and then I've used Better Touch Tool to remap that to Command-M in Finder, but I've covered that in the previous video. What that allows me to do is, say if I press Command-M, I can then move that to a folder of my choice, and that'll just move it rather than having to go through the laborious drag and or copy and paste and replace or drag it between windows and so on. Alternatively, you can delete the file from within Alfred. You can resize the image, which is really useful. So you can target, say I want it to be 400 pixels, and you can also search for similar images on Google, all from within Alfred. So if you want to do like the reverse image lookup search on Google, you can just do it from within your Finder or from within Alfred. Web search. So this is another way to use it. So if I want to search something on Google, let's say search something that's not really easily findable, it will default back to looking on Wikipedia, Google Images, or Google. That's my setup. You can, if you use a different search engine more frequently, like an idiot, if you use like Bing or Yahoo or something, then you can always set them up too. There are, if you're a maths fiend, then you can use Wolfram, or if I want to search on YouTube for Alfred, for example, then you just type Y and it will come up with the results straight from there. So lots that you can do from within a search bar, and you can also include your bookmarks too. So let's say I want to, and translate as well. So let's say I want to translate hola. Do it from within Alfred, it opens it up, there we go, translates it for you. If I want to use my bookmarks, then it syncs with your Chrome or your Safari bookmarks. Let's say I want to make an order on Asda, you just type the word Asda, and there it is. If you want to open the Alfred forum, for example, you don't even have to type the complete word, you just type snippets of the word, and then it opens it up. There we go. So, and you can choose which browser you want to open them in, for example, too. Next, we have the Clipboard history, and this is my most used feature within Alfred. What this does is you press Shift-Command-V. So normally Command-V would be paste, but Shift-Command-V opens up the paste box. This is all of your previous searches or your previous copies, rather, things in your clipboard, and it supports images and text. So it supports up to, I think as many as you want, but you can have like 200 at a time or whatever. So if there's something, a link or something you sent to someone a week ago, you can just type a bit of the link and it will come up within the clipboard history. What this does then means is that you can then copy or paste something from a previous Clipboard and have it at your fingertips. And you can set how long you want to keep lists and files for. You can also merge things. So let's say you want to, if I go back to this, and I want to copy that, and then I want to append that to the end of it, I can press copy twice in succession quickly. So Command CC. Hear that noise? What that means now is if I paste that, it's copied both of them. So it's copied the previous thing copied and the following one, and it's stuck them together. So this is really useful if you want to do a big bunch of stuff like that. What that's done is it just adds them all together like that, and that's a huge time saver compared to the old way of having to have like a document open at the same time and drag them over or whatever. Okay, hope you are still with me. Remember to play and pause the video if needed. I know I'm going quite fast, but I'm aware that you have the luxury of pausing. I don't have the luxury of speeding up. So snippets, these are phenomenal. So I have 2 snippet packs. One is for emojis. So if you want to type an emoji or something, you can literally just say like, what's an emoji? Smiley face. So you just say smile. And then there's all the list of the smiley ones there. I have some text expansion emojis set up as well, just for the ones that I use frequently. So flex, lemon, doctor, I know I'm a weird person, party, yay, fist. So you can start typing words like that and it will automatically turn them into those emojis. What I would recommend as best practice for using snippets is you can set auto expand. So let's say you want scissors, but if you have it, you don't just put the word scissors. I know I have that for fist and things, but I don't tend to use the word fist very much. If you put a colon at the start or something, that avoids you accidentally using that as a snippet when you meant to just type the word. This is what happens when you open the Alfred snippet or clipboard manager. That's what will be pasted when you put in the keyword. So this is an emoji pack that someone's created very patiently. And let's say I want to type scissors, then I would just type colon, scissors, colon, and then it will auto change it to that. There are many other ones that I use within Alfred. So typically things like if someone's inquired for coaching, then I would just type coaching inquiry, coaching. So coaching options, there we go. And that means that it just avoids having to type something out every time or save multiple text files. If someone sends you an email and there's a common response that you write to them, then you just have an easy way to send them something that you would send out a lot. So I've got 318 of those. Typically you should use things like your mobile number, your address, and that kind of thing, where you start typing the number and it expands it out. Again, common key presses or common phrases that you use, just build them up as you go along. You're probably looking at this and thinking, 318, that's quite a lot, but they just built up over time. I also use similar or frequent links that I would send someone. So someone's asked about, oh, how do I keep my abs when coming out of a diet? I just type keeping your abs and then it will send them that link, for example. Or, oh, I want to know what, on the subject of abs, like what are the abs movements that I can do? There we go. There's a list of all the main abs movements and the technique guidance from within our fitness program. So next we have the calculator. So this is just a standard calculator, 500 plus 10 or whatever. And you can include advanced functions within there too. Dictionary. So if I want to define discombobulated, there we go, and it will just open the dictionary or it will define it from within Alfred. Very useful for quickly looking stuff up. Contacts. So you can manage and use contacts within Alfred too. So let's say I want to find the Vodafone customer service. You open it in there. That will then allow you to copy that number to the clipboard and paste it to wherever you want. You can even type call Vodafone customer service and it just opens it straight up like that. And so that will open FaceTime and just start a call with them. Next we have iTunes. So iTunes is this. So I was listening to Bangra for a recent video that I edited. So you can search and play iTunes from within Alfred as well. And you can open playlists, albums, and so on. So you can basically control iTunes and Spotify from within there. Next, if you are a user of 1Password, which I recommended in the previous video, then there is a native integration with Alfred and 1Password. So you can start typing something in and it'll just log you straight into that page using 1Password security, or you can copy your passwords to the clipboard. Luckily, if you do copy something secure to the clipboard, it won't show up in your clipboard history. And that's because it's not going to overwrite that, or it's not going to put it in there if it's something that they think is potentially compromised. It'll just silently put it in your clipboard and then delete it afterwards. You can edit that though if you wanted to. System commands. So I showed you one of them before, which was kill. So if I wanted to kill Alfred, for example, I could do that there. I'm not going to do that because I would never want to kill my heartbreak Alfred, but heartthrob. But the other things you can do, you can hide or quit. So if I wanted to quit mind node, you can do that there, or you can say sleep, and that will cause the Mac to sleep. Or you can also say sleep in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So if you're going to bed and you have a lecture playing or an audio or something, you can just set that to sleep in 5 minutes, go to bed, and then you've set a sleep timer. You can lock the Mac, you can change the volume, you can mute, all those kind of system commands from directly within Alfred, and also empty trash as well. Terminal, this isn't something I use. Large type, you can press Command L and that makes the font size large. And then previews as well. So if I'm in Alfred Demo, Alfred Demo and press that, then I can press Shift and that will show me the preview of the file there from just pressing Shift. So really it replaces Finder entirely if you wanted to. Okay, those are the main functions, the native ones of Alfred. Next we move on to the workflows. This is a pro feature, but there's a huge amount of fun in here, so I'm going to go through the workflows that I have installed. You can go onto packle.com where you can find much more of the workflows depending on what you use more frequently. So there's a lot in there and it's worth browsing through and seeing what's available. These are the ones that I use most frequently, and I'm going to run through them head to toe. So Anki, if you use Anki, it is fantastic. It's the flashcard app, so if I want to add a note to Anki, for example, I would just do that. You type in the front of the card, you then type in the back of the card, and it adds it into your default deck. Oh no, there's a fly in the room now. Let's get rid of him. Okay, add to calendar. So if you want to add something to your calendar, you literally just type cal. So you would say cal download Alfred on 1st Jan 2020 at 8 AM. I hope this fly goes away soon. Pissed me off. He's gone. Wonderful. Google Maps. So you want to go from Trafalgar Square to Mayfair. You just type DIR and Google Maps will open up and take you to those directions. Very cool feature. Next, Alfred Tweet. So you can say I am tweeting this from within Alfred. And then you press Command Enter and it just tweets it straight out to your default account. You can also, there's some other features in there too, like follow, unfollow, block, and that kind of thing too. But great for eliminating the friction of tweeting. You can just do it from your desktop. You don't even have to open Twitter or get distracted down the rabbit hole. Next, audio recording. So if I just type rec, then it will record an audio straight away for you. And it'll just open up QuickTime, start recording with the default input. So if you're doing podcasts or even a quick voice note, you can just type REC, opens it up. And if you do QTS, then it will start a screen recording as well. Bluetooth device connector. So if I type BLT, it will connect to the local Bluetooth devices. And if I type BT and Wi-Fi, you can just toggle Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on and off. So if I do that, BT, you'll see the Bluetooth came on there. If I do that again, Bluetooth is turned off. Call or SMS contact, so I showed you that one before. Change case, this is great. So you take the latest thing on your clipboard, say that, and then you just press Command and plus minus, and it gives you the option to paste it in either lowercase, uppercase, or the first letter of each word as uppercase. So might make more sense with a longer thing. So if I copy that for example, see what it does to transform the text there. There are some other great text transforming tools that you can use. You can download from Packle. Some of them involve creating lists and manipulating text in much more fancy ways. I'm not smart enough for that stuff, but you might be. Next, we have copy the URL. So this allows you within the default browser to just copy the current URL without having to move the mouse up to the bar and copying it like that. You can be doing anything and it just copies it straight to your clipboard. Dark mode toggle. So if I press DM, it can switch to dark or to light, like so. DevDocs. So if you're someone that uses a lot of documentation from DevDocs, then you can search it from within Alfred there. Downvid. Literally, you copy a video, copy the link like that, and then I would just press DV, download video, and it will download any video from any source onto your desktop. Brilliant feature. Emoji taco. So if I press Command E, then it opens up the emoji search. So if I want to do tree, for example, it shows all the trees, or lemon, my favorite, orange, anything like that, and it will search from within all of the emoji database, and it's constantly updating whenever they bring out new emojis. Minimizes the hassle with typing out emojis, and I think it's faster as well than trying to use this keyboard shortcut. Because the thing that annoys me about this is that, for one, there's a slight delay from when you press the shortcut to it coming up, and secondly, if you want to search, you have to then move the mouse and click on the search bar. It defeats the whole purpose of a keyboard shortcut. So I would personally use this, the emoji taco. There we go. Fix them. So this converts Alfred 3 workflows into Python, I think. It fixes the code in some of the old workflows. Don't need to worry about that. Flux. So if I want to control Flux from within Alfred, I can say Flux dark mode or dark room. Oh, the fly is back. But that will use Flux to change the features from within there. Go away, fly. Don't know where he's gone. Google Drive. So I've shown you that if you just type D and training templates, for example, then you can search completely from within your Google Drive. Google Search. I'm gutted about this. This is this is so sad. I dreamt about this workflow last night because I knew I was doing this video. I dreamt that someone had fixed the workflow, but what this used to allow you to do is search just Google from within Alfred. And I think it's if anyone is a coder and would know how to fix this, I think it's just to do with the way that Alfred passes the HTML results from Google. But it used to allow you to have an inline search from within Alfred, and then that would mean that whatever the result is, you could just press Control-C and copy it to your clipboard. So if someone is ever like, oh, hey, what was the article that you sent me, or what was that link? You can just go G, whatever, without even having to open your browser and just ping it off to them within seconds. So these are the two similar workflows that someone's made, but because Google have updated something at their side, the Google workflows no longer work, unfortunately. We have Googling similar images. This is something I showed before, where you can either do it using a hotkey, so pressing Command Alt I, and then whatever the highlighted image is, it'll upload it to Google, find similar images from there, or you can do it from within the Finder, as I've shown you here. So you select it and you just press Command M, and you can do that, or even faster. You then press Command 4, and that'll open up the Google reverse images there. So loads of pictures of lemons. Right, next thing, hide desktop. So I have done that here. you can press HD to hide desktop or SD to show desktop. So if you're doing a screencast or a presentation and you don't want people to see your embarrassingly messy desktop, you can hide it like that. Next, KAT, this is Kick-Ass Torrents. I've got this for demonstration purposes, but I don't use torrents myself, so it's disabled. But if you search KAT, and then it will show an inline search for any torrents that you have. Just bear in mind that you can only torrent, or you can only legally torrent the things which you already have yourself and you're downloading for some other purpose. Check the full law on that, I think. Anyway, kill process, we have kill Chrome or whatever. Last to imgur. This is lovely as well. So what you would do is you take a screenshot of something. So let's say I want to take a screenshot of that map. I would press Command-Shift-4, take a screenshot. That comes up on there. And then what you can do is just type L2. And then that has pasted it to imgur. So maybe that was a bit slow. There we go. So it's uploading, and then literally it just pastes it to imgur or imgur, however you say it, and then you've uploaded it. So if you need to send a text with an image hosting, it is all able to be done from within there. Next, workflow. If you use CSS, then this gives you a nice little cookbook that you can search for within Alfred as well. Pretty lovely. You can search mail, so if you want to quickly find an email or something, you can do that from within here too. You can press M and then the name of someone to send a message. So let's say I want to send a message to Vodafone. Maybe that's why I've disabled that one because it's not been updated. You can search within your Apple Notes. You can update all of your current workflows from there. If you want to open a video from within Ina, I like the guy's tagline, fuck Flash. So you want to copy that, and then you just say Ina, open URL. And then this will open whatever the URL is from Ina. So this is one of my favorite, what's it called? Favorite media players. This fly is distracting me. I can't even see him, I can only hear him. So yeah, you can navigate any video or YouTube video just from an app on your desktop. The reason this is great is that it allows you more flexibility over controlling the speed. See that in the corner. You can mute, you can use all the keyboard shortcuts. It just allows you a bit more freedom to do that from within an app. Also, if you haven't seen Meditation 101, highly recommended. Just search on Propane Fitness for that. Just using it as a demonstration video for copyright purposes. Next, Pirate Bay. Again, I don't tend to use Pirate Bay, but you can search from within there. Play song. So you type in the name of a song and it will open up in iTunes. So you can do that from there. Pocket for Alfred. This is lovely. So if you're someone that uses Pocket, and if you're not, download it immediately. It's bloody great. It's just a way to save articles for later, and it strips them of formatting so you can just have a great reading experience. If you are ever on a page, for example, with an article, so let's go to BBC again, my standard go-to, and you want to open an article, so you've got NHS waiting lists, I press Command L and it will just copy the active tab, put it into Pocket, and then you can read it later. And also Pocket has a feature for reading things aloud. So if you're in a car or something, you can just allow it to read the article to you with a kind of semi-realistic voice. Pomodoro. So you just type Pomo, start, and there we are. It begins a Pomodoro timer, which should come up on the top. Maybe it's because I've uninstalled the Pomodoro app. Yeah, if you have the Pomodoro app installed, Tomato 1, it'll open up a Pomodoro for you. The reason that it didn't work for me is that I've replaced my Pomodoro for Focus To Do, which is a fantastic app. I will do another video on my productivity workflow and framework in another video where I cover the specifics of that. So if you don't know what Pomodoro is or why it's so great, then I'll cover that later. Almost done. So QR code. If you have a QR code and it comes up on the screen, then you can just type Alfred QR and it'll recognize it and execute whatever the command in the QR code is. Recent downloads. So within Alfred, you type RD and it'll just show your 10 most recent downloads in line, so you can do whatever you want with them. Refresh Wi-Fi. I'm not going to do that now, but if you type REW, then it'll turn off Wi-Fi and turn it back on again. So if you have Wi-Fi issues, rather than having to go painstakingly to there and turn Wi-Fi off, you can just do it all from one quick thing. Resize image. So I showed you this before. You just type rimage and then you say the target image width. You do that with the most recent image that's highlighted or something that's at the forefront, and it'll resize it for you. Great for doing in bulk as well. Short films, again, I don't use this, but if you type shorts, it'll give you a list of the most recent short films that have come out and viewable online. And then you can also open them within INA as well, IINA. Reminders, you can control reminders from within Mac, and then I've covered this one, which is the sleep timer. Spotify Ripper, again, not one that I use, but if you listen to Spotify and you wanted to download one of the songs to an MP3, then you type spot rip. I've set up both of these on, this is a workflow I've set up myself, so I record a lot of video responses for clients. So rather than having to open Photo Booth and start recording, I just press Command-Shift-R and it opens up Photo Booth and begins recording. And then if I want to upload that to YouTube as an unlisted file, I just press Command-Shift-U like this, and then it opens up the YouTube upload page where I can just drag the file into there. Summary, so if you want to find summaries of books, you just type the word sum and it will scrape, get abstract, actionable books and so on. So some Napoleon Hill, for example, and then it'll just open a bunch of tabs for Napoleon Hill. So get abstract is probably the best one, as well as actionable books and so on. This is the one I'm reading at the moment, Outwitting the Devil, very good book. And yeah, so there we go. By the way, to close those tabs, I'm using Command W, as you've seen from the previous video. Swift window switcher, so if you have multiple windows open for the same app, you can just type W and then it'll, and you start typing the name of the window and it'll switch between them. That's one that you can use. I personally tend to use Command Cedilla. So let's say I've got lots of these windows open now, I can switch between them with Command Cedilla, and that moves between these two windows, for example. Does that make sense? Let's close that and let's maximize that. Command-Shift-M with Better Touch Tool to maximize the window. Love keyboard shortcuts. Switching the sound output. So you press SPK and that switches the sound output from, say, your speakers to your internal speakers. Temporary email. I love this one. So let's say I want to enter a temporary email somewhere. So I go to submit. Or no, let's say, what has an email opt-in? Asda. This isn't right, but, oh, that's my search history. Jaffa Nibbles. Jaffa Nibbles are dangerous, by the way, if you've ever tried them. So these things. They are so compulsive. Just maybe don't try them because you'll get horribly addicted. Anyway, if I want to type in a temporary email, you just type in TMP. What that does is it allows you to paste a temporary email address into wherever you're trying to opt into. You then go to the next tab that is opened up automatically, and it'll open up the login for that particular email address. So really, really useful, worth doing if you wanted to access something but you don't want to give away your email address. Time zones, so you type TZ and then it'll show you the time zones for the different places, and you can obviously search for them as well, so Moscow or whatever. Very useful if you're doing lots of calls abroad, for example. Trello, I don't use Trello anymore, but you can do that, excuse me. You can search and use Trello from within Alfred. That's to Skype or FaceTime or phone someone. Uninstall, so let's say I wanted to uninstall Microsoft Word. You just do that, press enter, and it'll open it up within App Cleaner. App Cleaner is a useful app that doesn't just delete the app itself, but all of the kind of associated files with it. And it'll, I mean, that's a big one to uninstall, but you can do that from within there. I'm not going to uninstall Microsoft Word, unfortunately. As much as I hate it, I still need it for some things. Upload to Imgur, so we've talked about that. Word search, if I want to say synonym for, say, the word upload, probably isn't any. No. Okay, synonym for discombobulated. There we go. Or like synonym for good. So you can search for those from within Alfred. Finally, Wunderlist. So you can control Wunderlist from within here as well. You just press WL, and then YouTube control. So if you want to play or pause things within YouTube, I have this disabled because I prefer using things within IINA, IINA, just because it's much faster and better than using a YouTube control thing. Next, you can set different skins for Alfred here, so you can change the way that it looks, and that makes things look a little bit more exciting. And then there is Alfred Remote as well. If you use an iPhone, you can control Alfred from within your iPhone. I don't have Alfred Remote set up because I just hate my phone. I think I've got fat thumbs and I just don't like it. So that is it. I think that is everything for how to use Alfred. That's Alfred 101. If you are someone that is competent with coding, and you can write in Bash and Apple script and so on, then it opens up a huge amount of potential for you to go the next level with this. But this is all that I can do with my kind of humble approach with Alfred. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Get a hold of it. The Power Pack is something like $20 or something, and it's brilliant. And as you can see, you will get a lot of use out of it. So check it out. Let me know your thoughts and any questions in the comments below. And then in the next video, we will be covering specific productivity apps, as well as my actual workflow and the browser extensions to enhance your life. Okay, speak very soon.